All right, good people, good people. All right, here is a moment of truth. All right. I know a lot of people probably haven't seen me in a couple years doing video. I've been slacking. It has been a lot going on. All right, a lot going on. So here's my truth or my PSA. I guess dealing with, everything that's been going on here in the world. So um I think you probably been noticed a lot of people have been diagnosed, or men in particular, have been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, so myself included, I think I found out probably about 3 years ago. Reason being, I was, wanted to stay on top of it because cancer kind of run, well, not kind of, it does run in my family. So I wanted to stay on top of it. And I was found early stages of it. However, when anytime you hear cancer, the whatever the doctor say to you, everything just stop, and in your ears like wah 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 wah, right? That, and then he said, you can have options. You can talk to counselors. You have people calling you, talk about genetic counseling. So the genetic counseling part of it is, being that I have daughters, can have have myself stuff tested. So just make sure you try to find the root of it, of where it come from. So as much information I can pass along to them, the more the merrier. So after talking to the counselors, doing my little research, taking it all in, you hear the C word and you're like, okay, take a moment, breathe. What just happened here? So being that, talking to my dad, saying, don't worry about it, you're going to be fine. He had it and all that stuff, good stuff, or not good stuff, but all that stuff about it. However, each case, even though it's a high um, success rate, each person or how you recover from it is different. So I have to take that into account. So my first encounter with the counselor was, we talked about a lot of stuff, right? Do you want to do immediate treatment? Things of that nature. There's two types of radiation. You can do prostatectomy, which is like a surgery, or you can do observe and report, all right? Observation, right? So basically what you do every 6 months, you go do checks, just observe it to make sure it does not change, because however it's curable, you will have to make some life changes and it will change you. So, I mean, contrary to what they may make it seem, yes, it's good that you're going to be still living, but it is going to be some type of altering of your lifestyle. So being that I had initially a low grade, uh, which is generally a 3.4. So they got a way of breaking it out on the glisten scale. Like 3.4 is low grade, lower than that is low. But then if you switch that around and go to 4.3, now you're at intermediate risk. Another thing you have to do is MRIs. Another disclaimer: your boy E Money is claustrophobic. Like my family would tell you, if that elevator is too small, hey, what a stairs at? I'm looking for the stair. I am not getting in no small elevator, especially if too many people get in the elevator. I'm looking like, hey, y'all know there's a weight restriction on this elevator. So you know what? I'm gonna take the stair. So that was the second hurt I had to get over, was doing an MRI. And the first time I did it, that done bore was too small. So I said, this ain't gonna cut it. So then we found another place. The bore was actually bigger and I didn't feel like the walls was closing in. So basically that confirmed that my grade was low. Now, fast forwarding to 3 years later, went back and did all these biopsy tests. It's still low grade, but we find that the volume has moved a little bit. So, I mean, for the most part, I'm not bothered, nothing wrong. I don't feel any different, anything of that nature. But after going to pretty much a 8 hour class or educational class, or learning a little bit more of what's happening and learning about the different options that you have. Now, also learning too that this is very, very high in black men. It's like every 1 in 4 black males will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. And that's pretty on par, because I know my friends in my circle, they have been dealing with prostate cancer as well. And also one of my close friends, he just got done with he's been more than helpful in telling me what to expect, what to prepare for, and how long to expected recovery. So I went to the guy for radiation. He's like, dear, being that you are pretty young, he was like, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. Radiation, they got two different types of radiation. All right. The first radiation is you have to go for like, I think a month and a half or 2 months. It's like 5 minutes, but it's every day. So that's a tedious process. Now, if you do the radiation, it's more like a direct beam. Now, from that, from what my friend was telling me, that makes you tired, very sleepy. But like to me, that seems like it's probably a big inconvenience. Um, that he was basically saying the doctor was saying they would recommend that if I was a lot older because when you do direct radiation, there is a potential for side effects later, such as colon cancer, all these other different cancers to that might come up later issues. So he's saying 9 times out of 10, most people don't do that because once you most of the time you end up passing for something else different than prostate cancer because of the success rate. So you say, okay, that's one thing. Then it's another one called okay brachial or something like that, where it's like a half day. You go into the hospital and they do this incision and they insert it into the prostate and it's like you're going to become radioactive, right? So the radioactive seeds, they do a direct beam on that, and that's supposed to kill all of the cancer inside. All right, but those have side effects too, urinary, diarrhea, all of that different stuff, and you will be radioactive for a couple of days. But the crazy part about that is those metal seeds will be in you for the rest of your life. So I was like, I don't know about that one either. And then probably the most difficult one, but once you do it, it will put you start on the road to recovery on the backside of it, was the prostatectomy, which is the which is the part of where they go in, they make some incision, like 4 incisions around your stomach. They use the robot, and then they go inside and take the prostate out. Now, depending on where the prostate is, they try to spare your nerves, so you can be easier for you to recover. The most hardest thing I've heard from people is once they do this, as far as the urinary problem, that's the biggest thing of the leakage. And so what happens is once you get the prostatectomy, I hope I'm saying that correctly, um, you have to stay in the hospital maybe a day or so, and then they give you this bag on the side of you, right? So in case you got to urinate, whatever that other stuff, and then you're gonna have this catheter in you to help you use the restroom. So then you have to do that about 10 days or so. And so maybe a decent recovery, depending on normally it's about 4 to 6 weeks. So you can't work, you can't do anything of that. And they normally tell you if you're gonna decide to do that, then you have to do some exercises to help you bounce back um, a lot faster from the surgery. So with that being said, I'm probably going to do that in June. So just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. And like I said, it takes generally 4 to 6 weeks. Um, Working for the government now, we were able to work from home, but it's going to be on a case by case basis. So probably, I know for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I ain't gonna be able to do much. And then hopefully about week 4, I can start back working from home. But the main thing is to get well and to recover from that. Now, the part about the prostatectomy as well is you just want to make sure, keep everything status clean, cool and clean. And you don't want that to get infected because, of course, if you get infected, then you got to go to the hospital and get that taken care of. So all in all, I have been doing my research, just been looking, listen to a lot of people's story, and I'm pretty much highly encouraged. So I don't really let this get me down because, like I said, I know we have more information about prostate cancer. Like I said, you had all these different people talking about prostate cancer. Montel Jordan, just recently Auburn football coach was diagnosed with it. So I know I'm not alone in as far as doing it and the recovery. However, I do know everybody is differently, but I've been just listening to the team of doctors and just getting the advice from them on how to proceed. So my next thing I have to do right now is to do another MRI, which shouldn't be that bad. Hopefully I can get the same thing. So basically they just want to make sure that they um, check the because they're just highly more on one side and you spare more nerves on the other side, which I said, like I said, would allow you to have to bounce back more faster. Because the biggest thing is they worry about most men is talking about leakage because the urinary part of things. And then to make a whole full recovery, they say is about a year. And then the main thing, the goal is once you get your prostate removed, is to have your PSA at 0. Now, if it moves a little bit up to too high where they think it might be just a little bit of cause of concern, you can do some radiation treatment just to see if you can take care of whatever is left that might be causing your PSA to rise. Now, the difference in this versus radiation is so harsh on the body that it kind of destroys the nerves or whatever. So it's kind of hard to go back and get and take out the prostate because there's nothing left there. So that's probably was the more pro for me than the con was to just go have the removal because you still can go back and do the radiation and be just as effective. However, I'm just hoping and praying that the PSA does not go up any once it's moved. And then you have to go in like I think every 3 months or every 6 months. And then as nothing shows, then you start to get farther and farther away from those um appointments. So all in all, I'm just happy. Like I said, I just hopefully this information will reach some people. I mean, I wanted to share my story. It's been kind of been on my mind for a while. So should I do it? I mean, some people know, some people, some people don't know. The people that's close to me, I told them about it. They always checking on me. You good? You good? I said, yep. I don't feel any differently. So I do make sure I go to all of my appointments. I haven't been messing around for a long time. I know a lot of people hard headed, worried about bills and all of that stuff. But you have to worry about your health. So my main thing is just trying to make sure I live, make sure I have my daughters. See, maybe they have grandkids. Well, no time soon, hopefully. But definitely, like I said, the prostate will make you change your life. I mean, change your lifestyle, right? Can't be doing all that drinking and eating. You should be doing that anyway. But they will have to be some lifestyle changes with that just to make sure everything stay all up and up. So other than that, I'll be keeping everybody informed of what's going on me. And like I said, the next thing for me is the MRI. Tend to go ahead and do the surgery in June and go ahead and get on the road to recovery. So other than that, thanks for listening. Thanks for all the love and support. Emoneyshoes, and I'm out. Peace.